Let me ask you another question. How many of you during the last 13, 14 months feel like you have been self-compassionate as opposed to self-critical? How many of you feel like you have been empathic to yourself as opposed to critically judgmental of yourself? Self-accepting as opposed to denying of one's feeling states? How about of other people? How many of you feel like it's like maybe something we could all work on? Anyone? No one here feels like we can have more compassion in our society right now? Does anybody watch the news? More empathy, more non-judgmental relationships? Now, some of you, when I share sometimes aspects of my childhood, I see people's facial expressions. They're like, he's being too vulnerable. I'm not sure I can handle it. I was being interviewed a while back, and the reporter said, can you just give me the data? I just want to talk about the science. It's like, sure. Now, there are 5 reasons why all of you should care about feelings, and none of them have to do with my opinion or any of our experiences. The first is attention, memory, and learning. How kids feel, how you feel, is driving your attentional capacity right here, right now. So if you're bored with my presentation, firstly, I dislike you immensely, but if you are, your brain is out figuring something else out. Boredom is actually not a negative feeling. It just tells us, like, what's happening in front of me is not engaging. I'm going to do something else. If you were stressed out like I was as a kid, based on the need to just survive, you would now understand why I was a failing student. I was a C and D student growing up in my hometown. Elementary, middle school, C's and D's, F's. I'm a pretty smart guy. I couldn't process because why? I was in survival mode, not learning mode. Think about how many of our nation's youth right now are in survival mode and not learning mode. The second is decision making. Anyone here make a bad choice over the last couple of months? We've all made bad choices. We like to think that we're rational creatures, right? Business people especially, like that was my cognitive aspects of my life that made that choice. What I'm here to tell you is that your emotions are always part of your decision making, whether you like it or not. Here's an example. We did a study with teachers, and we randomly assigned them to be in a good mood or a bad mood. It's easy. Take 5 minutes, think about a good day. Take 5 minutes, think about a bad day. And then we had them grade the exact same paper. Lo and behold, what we found was a full grade difference between the grades. When we asked the teachers, do you believe that how you felt had any influence over the evaluation? 90% said, no way. There's no way. I grade papers all the time. Like, why would how I feel influence an objective criterion? So what does that tell us? It tells us that our emotional states, right, they leak into our lives in ways that we're not conscious of, and they have tremendous impact on outcomes. The third is relationship quality. Without looking to your left or your right, has anyone here ever lived or worked with someone who is really difficult? Like they make weird facial expressions in meetings. Like you're in a meeting with your faculty or in your office and like they roll the eye or they give you like contemptuous, like kind of like. And how many of you, when you think about the people in your life who display a lot of kind of negative facial expressions, you say to yourself something like, gosh, I want to live with them and work with them for the rest of my life. Or how many of you are like, I just want to run away? Emotions are the drivers of our relationship quality. Physical and mental health. Here's an interesting study. How teachers feel in their school, which we can call school culture and climate, influences their emotions in school, which in turn influences their physical and mental health, like sleep troubles, even body mass index we found in one study, which is an indicator of body fat. Finally, performance and creativity. Here's what I'm here to tell you. Emotions are the fuel of our creative processes. But it's our emotional intelligence that determines whether or not that creative process ends up in a product.